wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant, I don't even...
Hey y'all, how we doing? Welcome to episode 69 of the Fourth Down Forum podcast. My name is Derek, and I'm going to be auditioning for the role of Danny Zuko in the production of... No, I'm playing. What do we got going on here tonight? Well, for those of you who know, those of you that are not new to the channel, we're in the midst of the NFL season, almost through the first quarter, I should say. And right now, we're going to have your Week 3 NFL Pickems. So, without further ado, let's get into it. We got a AFC East matchup between the Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins. Now, who do I have winning this game and why? I have the Buffalo Bills winning Thursday Night Football and starting their season 3-0. Does the Ravens fan in me like that? No, because the Bills are one of the powerhouses in the AFC. So, but on the other end of that, the Dolphins are 0-2. I could put this out there. I've never been sold on their head coach since he's got hired, if we're being honest. Do I think he's a bad head coach? Not necessarily. Do I think he's the right coach for the Dolphins? No, I do not. That said, you have, on the other end, you have the league MVP from last year in Josh Allen. You have James Cook. Ed Oliver is out for this game, which does suck, but, you know, short turnaround from a Sunday to a Thursday night game, so I get it. But I am picking the Dolphins to open up Week 3 and win Thursday Night Football. Then we get into the Bengals-Vikings game, which is a battle of former LSU wide receivers Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson. Two of my favorite wide receivers in the league. Who do I have winning this game and why? Now, this one is a toss-up because, for those of you who don't know or haven't been keeping up, Joe Burrow is injured. He is out with turf toe. His timeline is 3 months, so that would put him back at December around Christmas time. On the other end, the Vikings quarterback, J.J. McCarthy, is also injured. His timeline, I'm not too sure, but I also know Aaron Jones, running back of the Vikings, is also injured. So I believe this is now going to be a battle between Jake Browning, who is a serviceable backup quarterback, I'll put that out there, and I want to say Carson Wentz. And just because if I'm correct on Carson Wentz being the Vikings backup, I think the Vikings take this game just because I trust Carson Wentz a little more than I trust Jake Browning. You know, and some people are going to be like, yo, D, you're doing that because it's a division opponent, da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, no, this is just where my head's at, what my logic is. That said, Texans-Jags. Now, this one is a AFC South matchup. Travis Hunter. Could you argue he has not been as advertised? You know, at Colorado, he was a star two-way player. I know the Jags are doing what they can to display that, but is that going to catch up with him in the NFL? You know, I don't think he's a bad player. I think it would benefit him to play one position as opposed to two. The Texans, though, their O-line is suspect. I'm going to put that out there right now. I like their head coach. Got no beef with him. Thought it was a phenomenal hire when they hired him. C.J. Stroud with an O-line is a phenomenal player. C.J. Stroud without an O-line, could one argue that he's David Carr? Mayhaps. That said, though, I am taking the Texans to win this game. Then we get into the other AFC South matchup from this week. The Indianapolis Colts and the resurgence of Danny Dimes, Vanilla Vic, Indiana Jones, as people are calling him now. The man is 2-0, has been balling the first 2 weeks of the NFL season. And on the other side of that, because I'll say right now, the Colts got weapons. They got Jonathan Taylor, they got Michael Pittman Jr., they got I want to say Nelson, one of their guards. I think it's Quentin Nelson. I could be wrong. Correct me if I am. They just drafted a rookie tight end who's, I don't want to say great, but I don't want to say decent either. So he's pretty good. And on the other side of that, you have Cam Ward. That said, though, I am taking the Indianapolis Colts. Now, does part of this play because I picked up Danny Dimes in fantasy football? Perhaps. Now, let's talk about the Raiders-Commanders game. This one is a out-of-conference game because one's an AFC team, one's an NFC team. The Raiders, Geno Smith did not look that promising in that game against the Chargers, if we're being honest. The Commanders, Jaden Daniels is injured. But yeah, Jaden Daniels is injured. Football is a lot better when that kid Jaden is playing. I am not 100% sure who the Commanders' backup quarterback is. Genty, I need you to get your ish together. I have you in one of my fantasy leagues, or two of them. Hoping you can get some points. But I am going to take the Commanders to win that game. Rams-Eagles. Now this, last week, week 2, we got the Super Bowl rematch between the Chiefs-Eagles. This week, we're getting the NFC conference game? No. Sorry, conference game was Commanders-Eagles. We're getting a rematch of the NFC divisional game. Now, the Rams, hell of a team. Stafford is up there in age. We're not gonna deny that. But do I have the Eagles going 3-0 to start the season? They have Jalen Hurts. They have the tush push. And they have a stellar defense. I am taking the Eagles to go 3-0. And y'all would think I'm an Eagles homer at this point, but I'm not. I just know who the better team is. Falcons, Panthers, NFC South matchup. Who do I have winning this game and why? I have the Falcons winning this game. Penix is a pretty good quarterback, year 2. Like to see where that's headed. The Panthers, they're not bad. Bryce Young is also a good quarterback. They got legit. They traded Adam Thielen back to the Vikings, so that's interesting. But yeah, I'm taking the Falcons in this one. Then we got an AFC matchup. So it's going to be Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers, which if you would have said 2, maybe even 4 or 5 years ago when this channel was first started, that Aaron Rodgers would be a Pittsburgh Steeler, I would have laughed in your face. Because I was of the belief at the time that that man would have retired a Green Bay Packer. But here we are. Aaron Rodgers playing for the Steelers, and Drake May playing for the Patriots. Now, the thing here is I have the Pittsburgh Steelers winning this game. Why do I have the Pittsburgh Steelers winning this game? Because I think they're the better team out of the two. The Steelers have DK Metcalf. They have DK Metcalf. They have Aaron Rodgers. Their defense is pretty good. Then we get to another out-of-conference game. Your NFC representative, the Green Bay Packers, against the Cleveland Browns. Now, we just saw in week 2 what my Ravens did to the Browns. I don't think the Packers are going to let their foot off the gas, and I do believe that the Green Bay Packers are going to win this game, and it's going to be a bloodbath if I'm being honest. I have the Packers winning in a blowout. Jets, Bucks. Now, injuries. Injuries are the name of the game here, and it sucks because we should not have this many injuries this early in the season. But Justin Fields is out. I want to say he's in concussion protocol. So, the Browns starting quarterback is going to be 2008 Ravens draft pick Joe Flacco. The Jets quarterback is going to be Tyrod Taylor, former Baltimore Raven. I am picking the Tampa Bay Bucks to win this game. They have a better all-around team, if we're being honest. Baker Mayfield. They have Baker Mayfield. They have Mike Evans. They have Vita Vea. So, then we get into our AFC West matchup. The Chargers coming off a dominant win against the Las Vegas Raiders. The Broncos coming off a loss. Bo Nix, Marvin Mims, Troy Franklin going up against John Harbaugh, Justin Herbert, Greg Roman. And for those of you who are not new to the channel, y'all know my beef with Greg Roman. It seems like he's getting his passing concepts together, which great, phenomenal. Quentin Johnson, which apparently around here, he's related to everybody. So, I am going to be taking, do I have the Broncos losing back-to-back games? Or do I have J.K. Dobbins getting me some fantasy points? Because I just remembered, he's a Denver Bronco now. So, Denver's defense is pretty good too. They got the Defensive Player of the Year in Patrick Surtain. I am going to be taking the Denver Broncos to win this game. Saints, Seahawks. They have former Ravens coordinator Mike McDonald. They also have Cooper Rush. They also have Sam Darnold. The Saints have Alvin Kamara. I'm picking the Seahawks to win this game. Now, Cowboys over the Bears. The Cowboys just won week 2. They lost week 1 against the Eagles. They won week 2 against the Giants. I have them winning week 3 against the Bears. Now, Cardinals, Niners. This game could go any way. The Niners have a bunch of players injured right now. Purdy's injured. There's some other players injured. I am taking Kyler Murray and the Cardinals to win that game. Now, let's talk about this game. The Chiefs and the Giants. Now, the Giants could do something funny and hand the Chiefs an 0-3 start. I don't think that's going to happen, though. And honestly, I have the Chiefs getting their first win of the season. I'm not sure if this game is at Arrowhead or on the road, because I do know their week 4 opponent is at Arrowhead. And I don't feel great about that game. Then we get to Monday Night Football. The Detroit Lions versus the Baltimore Ravens. That is why I am wearing this jersey. Haloti Ngata, 92. Former Lion. So it correlates. This is the Darkness Falls game. What does that mean? That means the Ravens are going to be wearing their all-black alternate uniform. One of my favorite uniforms in the league. Biased, maybe a little bit. But we are going up against a phenomenal head coach in Dan Campbell. He is aggressive. He is not afraid to go for it. And John Harbaugh, honestly, to match his intensity, you got to be aggressive. You got to go for it on the 4th and short. You got to go for it on the 4th and 2s. You got to go passing when they think you're going to go run. You got to run when you think you're going to pass. Now, the one thing the Lions did is they signed Malik Cunningham off the Ravens practice squad to simulate Lamar Jackson. Malik Cunningham, no disrespect to him, is not Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is in a league of his own. And y'all could be like, yo, D, you're being biased. But let's look at the stats. The man has the most rushing yards in NFL history. And at the time of recording, he has the perfect passer rating that belonged at one point to Aaron Rodgers. On top of that, he has 2 league MVPs to his name. So, Lamar Jackson, he's like that. The Lions, what do we have to look out for here? We have to look out for Sonic and Knuckles and Gibbs and, Montgomery, I want to say? I might have the name wrong. Forgive me if I did. The thing I want to see is I want to see a week 2 dominant performance from the defense. Not a week 1 collapse against the Buffalo Bills. Now, this is a primetime game at the bank. It's going to be rocking. It's going to be electric. I do think we might get into a shootout here, but I am going to pick the Ravens to win this game. Now, I don't know if I have picked the Ravens every week to win. You know, I should have picked them to lose to Buffalo week 1. I will tell you right now, if this prediction comes true, or if it doesn't, regardless of the outcome of this game, I am picking us to lose on the week 4 Pickems because of who we play. And because y'all know that already, I could tell you who it is, but I'll save that for the week 4 NFL Pickems. Now, things coming up on the channel. NFL Pickems, that's going to be a weekly thing. Week 4 will be recorded sometime before next week's Thursday night games. NBA season opener, season preview, we're going to be doing that. I'm trying to figure out how to incorporate college. So once I figure that out, you know, we'll be here, we'll be moving, we'll be going. Gears will be in motion. What else? Trying to think. Player profile episodes. I still want to do one on Kobe Bryant. What you will notice with the player profile episodes, though, that's going to be a lot of like players that I watched growing up that influenced me. I'll probably end up doing one on Peyton Manning because for those of you who don't know or are new to the channel, Peyton Manning is my all-time favorite NFL quarterback. You know, Lamar may one day succeed that. No hate towards Lamar. He is my favorite quarterback in the league right now. Obviously, he's my team's quarterback. But, yeah, player profiles will be coming up. Episodes like that, I'll put them into their own playlist on the channel. Also, speaking of channels, my boy Michael Pamflaps, y'all know him. Y'all love him. He has a channel he started called The Fantasy Breakdown, where he covers start, sits, all your fantasy football related questions. So, you know, I'll leave the fantasy football stuff to him. Maybe, you know, we'll collab once we do like the mock draft for our league next year. Obviously, that's not to say we won't collab before that because he's been on the channel already a couple of times. Other things coming up on the channel. We are at 306 subscribers right now. Once we get to 500 subscribers, we will be doing our second giveaway on the channel. That giveaway will entail the winner receiving a mini helmet of either their favorite collegiate or NFL team. Once we hit that sub goal, you know, I'll put on the community page the rules, or in the social pages, the rules of what goes on. These giveaways are legit. Big Mike of the Run and Wrestling podcast won the first ever 4th Down Forum giveaway. So, you know, That said, much love. I appreciate the love and support. We are going to continue to grow this channel. We're going to continue to grow the socials. I do want to do this full time. I want to make a career out of this. I do know that takes a lot of sacrifice. I have to be consistent with it. It takes a lot of, hard work, dedication, even doing this when you're not fully motivated or not 100% in it.
Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces.